Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, people, we say good morning to some. Some we say continue to have a great night. And if you represent the orange and blue, you know what I'm talking about. Last night, the NBA crowned a champion. And in crowning a champion, a city came to life last night, and I don't think they went to sleep yet. So if you were part of that crew, thank you for starting your morning with us. To everybody else, thank you for starting your morning with us. This is the Sideline Junkies Sunday Rise. Uh, I'm the Midnight Rider. He's the big guy, KG. And what we're going to do is we got a couple things we want to cover. We always cover if someone's passed away as a sports figure, or in this case, we even have an entertainment figure. Next, after that, we got to cover it because I can still hear it. I hear it. I hear Jadakiss. New York. I hear it. Um, After we cover that, we got a couple other things we want to cover. Uh, World Cup. Talk about Team USA's debut appearance. We have to talk about, as we always do, we have the Miles report, and we got a nice, interesting stat on her. And what am I missing, KG? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm looking. We got a question on the Sunday
All
about
right,
championships.
here we go. So there we go. So get ready. If you don't have your drink, I know you got a mimosa. If you're from New York, you probably got a regular old drink to get your day started. Because in the words of John Thompson, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And with that being said, I'm gonna turn this over to the big guy KG and let him get us going this morning. To do our normal thing called the Sunday Rise.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for that rousing introduction, Midnight Rider. Um, let me go ahead and say this first and foremost. The most important things. How you feeling this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I think this is the first time I've ever done 2 shows in 12 hours, but I'm good.
Look, the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network is all about first. Being as though we have our resident Knicks fan and C. Perry II, who you can see every Wednesday on Nothing But Net at 7:15, right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, along with this gentleman right here, the Midnight Rider, the nephew, Josh, and JG. I just want to go ahead and give the flowers out real quick to you gentlemen for the dedication, the energy that you presented going into midnight.
Oh, we were past midnight.
Bless
He
you.
didn't.
Yeah,
Every
y'all
time,
didn't start till like 12:30.
yeah.
Yeah. Look, I was so well. I will talk about it then, but I'm just, my heart was beating out of my chest, but I was beaming with pride as I was falling asleep because I had already did my nightly routine. I was like, I got to go. But you guys killed it last night, man. If you have not watched that, please go back and check that out. It is available on Facebook Live, YouTube, and X. So make sure you check that out. Coach Mark's stepping in with us, starting my Sunday off right. Yep, with the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Sunday Rise, baby. That's how you get your week started. Now, I got to bring it down a little bit. The news came out yesterday. Former 49er Alden Smith passed away at the age of 36. For those that are not familiar, Alden Smith played. He was drafted in 2011 in the seventh round, and the first round, seventh pick. Played the 49ers, the Raiders, the Cowboys, and he was on the practice squad of the Seahawks back in 21. First team All-Pro, Pro Bowler in 2012, All-Rookie team in 2011. In college, he went to Missouri. He's a first team All Big 12 and Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Man, 36 years old. No cause of death was dropped. He had some personal issues off the field. He served a 9-game suspension for substance abuse and personal conduct policies. But I'm gonna tell you something about Alden Smith. I don't give a damn what anybody say. He was a talented dude. he was talented. Him and Patrick Willis were two of the anchors of that early 49ers team that went to back-to-back NFC championships and went to a Super Bowl. Anchors. And I thought if he got to Dallas, because Dallas, just like the Raiders, is home for wayward souls. I thought that he would have got it right there, but it just didn't work out. But at 36, he is no longer with us. Midnight Rider.
There's always a tale of the athlete that was so talented, so gifted, and we sit here at times wondering, what if? It's one of the coolest questions we ever have is what if? And we often wonder, there's guys like Josh Gordon. I think Alden Smith's another guy like this, where these guys have all the time in the world, and sometimes they get in their own ways. They keep themselves from greatness, or seeing the fullness of the greatness that is bestowed upon them. When I think of Alden Smith, I think of that 99 coming off the edge for the 49ers. I just remember seeing a guy that I thought was that people couldn't stop, teams couldn't stop. And I know I said it to other people, but it's the only person that was going to stop him was him. And you know, some of this we got to start worrying about, because like some of these guys' legacies are tied into some of the weed stuff, and you just wonder if we had a different age and time then, what could their careers have been like? Instead of having to suffer the punitive damages for marijuana or whatever else they had going on. I don't remember all his um, situations, and I don't want to even try to speculate on it. But Alden Smith was a great talent, was a person that um, could get a sack, and he's proved that. And I think his talent showed why he got so many chances. This is a league of chances, especially when you're talented. So, um, 36, that's tough. And I think I just told somebody the other day, I was like, man, we'd gone we were 9 of 10 shows with a rest in peace. I think our first one was Thursday night. And now we back here, man. So it's just sad to see him go. Sad to see anybody go. Age of 36, just so much life in front of him. Um, I guess this is one of those moments where you gotta, you know, whatever you get, you gotta appreciate it, because some people don't get to turn the pages to the numbers you've seen.
I agree with that, Midnight Rider. I agree. Uh, we got another one. This is entertainment business. For those of you that grew up 70s, 80s, even the 90s kids, and you know, your parents or grandparents watched the Today Show, you wanted to know if a movie was truly good. It was three people that you listened to: Siskel and Ebert and Gene Shalit. Those are your three right there. Because if they told you the movie was good, damn it, it was good. If they told you it was bad, it was bad. And Gene Shalit passed away at 100 years old. I mean, life well lived. For those that don't know, he was the iconic guy on the Today Show with the afro and the big mustache. And he reviewed movies from 1970 until 2010 when he retired. So on a Today Show, and he had a lot of other works. He wrote for Look Magazine, Ladies Home Journal, Cosmopolitan, TV Guide, 17, Glamour, McCall's, and the New York Times. And also did radio work. And he's been parodied on cartoons, so the younger generation, you know, would know about him, but they probably don't know who they were parodying. For the SpongeBob kids, Gene Scallop from the episode of SpongeBob, the Krusty Sponge, was based off of Gene Shalit. Family Guy has parodied him a couple of times. He was on The Critic for 3 episodes. For those of you that watch cartoons in the 90s, that was a primetime cartoon for adults. He had Muppet characters based off him. He was parodied on Saturday Night Live. Second City Television, David Letterman, just you name it, man. He was there. And he was a staple of music. I'm sorry, not music, staple of movies. And his reviews were always spot on. So rest in peace. Life well lived. Got to see 100. Turned 100 back in March 25th. So Midnight Rider.
No, you covered everything the way I would have covered it. I mean, all I remember is the bushy mustache. I remember him talking about movies. I didn't always listen to him because there's a certain genre of movies like comedies that critics always like to poo-poo because they're comedies, and it's like I don't know. It's just like with the Oscars. It's like the movie has to be highbrow and have all these things, and nobody's ever heard of some of these movies, but these critics have, and I guess it's hard to be a critic. Um, but 100 years, and he etched out a niche. Like he will forever be known for his mustache and his big afro. Um, to a certain generation, he will be time stamped in their minds for quite a while and for a time to come. So, rest in peace. He was talented and he left his mark, and that's sometimes all you can do in this world is leave a mark.
Agreed. We are going to take a break to reset respectfully. We come back. It's time for a second celebration. So stay tuned. The Sunday Rise. We'll be back and we'll move on with the show. So we'll be right back.
Tonight, the bell rings and the stories begin. Welcome to the ride.
Okay, that's how we doing this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Sideline Junkies podcast network. This is the Sunday Rise. And if you don't know what our next topic is, you can check out our Skyline and see what we're about to talk about. Um, Thank you for joining us. Feel free to comment. We love the interaction. And I'm not going to talk long. I'm going to let you go ahead and take this over, KG, because I talked a lot about this last night. So you can go first, man.
Well, you know me. I watched during the WrestleManiacs, which is the intro you saw, the commercial you just saw. We were talking and we were going in last night. If you have not watched that, please go back and watch it. We were really going in. But towards the end of the show, it was started the fourth quarter. And we were, hey, the Knicks are down, but they got to do something. They did. 94-90. They win Game 5 and win the series 4-1. Josh Hart gave you 13 and 11. OG Anunoby gave you 11 and 8 rebounds. Towns only had 2 points, but he had 10 rebounds. Jalen Brunson gives you 45. The most scored in the finals by a Knick since Willis Reed in 1970. Mikal Bridges gave you 14. They didn't get too much off the bench. For the Spurs, Vassell gave you 12. 14 from Champagne, 19 and 14 from Wemby, 25 from Harper off the bench, who was balling. I think I seen Lee Ice say Harper playing like his daddy in Cleveland because he was getting it, 10 and 19 off the floor.
Yeah, that's what it was.
For the stats, both teams shot in the 30s, 38% for the Spurs and 35% for the Knicks. Both teams shot 32% from the 3-point line. Free throws. 20 or 28 for the Knicks, 12 and 19 for the Spurs. The Knicks missed 5 free throws down the stretch, but they couldn't seal the fate, but defense did it. They out-rebounded the Spurs 48-47. Only had 10 turnovers to the Spurs 12, but the Spurs killed them in the paint 38-30. I don't know if I want to go personal. I want to go journalistic with this.
Well, let's break it down. Let's break it down 3 ways. Let's go first, just initial reaction. So let's go initial reaction to the game itself, and well, no, because then we're gonna still end up there. So let's not do that. Let's just talk, man. Let's just have the conversation. You go whatever way you go, I'll respond the way you go.
Well, I'll say this. Earlier in the day, I said, you know what? I said the Knicks gotta win this game. They gotta take this. They gotta go down there. They gotta handle business. And the way they were playing in the first 3 quarters, the first quarter, I was like, ew. I think they were down. Where's my box score? They were down 23-13 in the first. Right. And then they came,
So let's stop right there real quick.
Okay.
So they're the first team, I think, to trail after every first quarter of this series. So that's one nugget. Go ahead, you can keep going. I'm gonna try to just drop nuggets every time you talk about something.
Gotcha. They came back, scored 24 in the second, 24-19. So that made it, what's that, 42-37 at the half. And then it's like, yet again, they kind of sort of didn't put the clamps on the Spurs until the fourth quarter because the Spurs outscored them 30-28 in the third. But in the fourth, it was 29-18. And the way the Spurs looked lost, they really looked lost. It was something I didn't agree with in the fourth quarter, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong if you watched it, anybody listening, watching. The final foul on Towns that fouled him out, I didn't think that was a foul. Now, did he go for the first fake? He did, and then he put his hand up, he stood flat-footed, and Wemby leaned into him, and then he fell down, and they called the foul on Towns, and I said, damn, did Wemby just flop right there and get the call? I didn't agree.
This series was hard. This series was tough to referee because as much as we say that one, there were several times where I just thought like Towns was just able to just grown man Wemby. You know, Wemby's trying to drive to the lane and they get that bump and you see him lose his balance every time they bumped. And this is what I was saying. I think Josh was making a comment, and I think he didn't get what I was saying. I think Wemby has to change a little bit because when you're trying to drive, you can't. When you get bumped, you can't lose your footing because that's what was happening. It was they would just bump him, and then he had to settle for whatever the jump shot was, or he had to pass out of it. Like he wasn't. Everybody kept saying get him in the post. Well, if you saw that last free throw, or that last set of free throws where Mitchell Robinson puts him underneath the basket, he doesn't even turn to box out with his body. He's trying to box out, stand in front, chest to chest with him, and strong enough to do that. And that's also a part because he's 7'5". So like you would think if he could turn and get his torso on him and squat down, he could create space. But I mean, his overall strength is going to be one thing that's going to have to change this all season for him to be in a better space going forward.
I don't. Everybody say, well, Wemby doesn't have a post game, but he actually does have a post game. Why didn't they break it out? Why didn't they? Because
if you can't stay in the post and hold your
when it got down to you having leads, I mean, that's what you do. You play half. You run a half court set. Dump that thing down low. Let him go to work. He went to school with Hakeem Olajuwon. Let him use those moves on the block. He was using them during the season. Why did you go away from what you did during the season in the playoffs?
And I repeat again, you got to be able to hold your position on the block. And if you can't hold your spot, then it's points to have the moves because you can't get to him. I mean, that's his struggle right now. He's got to make it, and I think he can do it during the regular season because everybody he was going against wasn't Robinson, wasn't Towns. And Towns is playing with a whole different fire than he ever played in Minnesota.
Agreed. I mean, don't get me wrong. I give him a lot of shit, but I respect the hell out of him. I give him a lot of shit because it's funny. I give him a lot of off-court shit, but on the court, I always said that he has to play. You can't play like a kitty cat. If you're going to play like a cat, you got to play like a mountain lion. You got to play like a tiger. And he played like that this series. He did everything that I had been asking for the last year. He did everything. And I
totally agree.
I'm good with that. Coach Mark said, did the Spurs leave their energy in OKC?
Coach Mark, you've been on that same page. I said that when this whole thing ended, and KG, not this KG, but Kevin Garnett said that they were too emotional after winning the OKC series. I think they took so much out of them that they had to overcome some things. And I also think what they had to overcome was they didn't have the patience to play a 4-game series. They played like they thought they could win the series on each possession, and that's where they struggled at. And late in the game, and it's so funny about this series. Once we finish these thoughts, I'm gonna go off on a different tangent. But it's just so interesting about this series because the other anomaly in this series is 2 other stats that stuck out to me. One, the Knicks trailed by double digits in all 5 games. Stat 2 is more of a Brunson stat. He's one of only 2 guards to score 45 points in a closeout situation. That's him and Michael Jordan. He's one of 3 players to score more than 45 points, period. And that's Giannis, Jordan, and Brunson. Giannis had 51 in his closeout. And this might have had the caveat of on the road. But yeah, those were 2 things I saw this morning as I was moving around. Crazy part about this is we're talking about, actually, I'm gonna say that too. Go ahead, KG, it's on you.
Oh no, I agree with you about them leaving their they left everything in OKC. But we see it so often. It's crazy. I love what Maddie says right here. He said, really happy for Perry, really hope for the same thing in about 12 hours. And I'm on the same page with Maddie. Because number one, I'm happy as hell for Perry. I am happy as hell for Perry. So hopefully when he can get it, he can have his 3rd banner hanging up behind him in his background for his setup. And then what Maddie said, the second part, hoping for the same thing in 12 hours. Me too. I'm hoping that we doing another celebration at past midnight tonight with the Caniacs. So
Oh, I'm not in on that one. I gave you one. I gave you one.
look, I gotta work tomorrow.
I
But
gave
either
you
way,
one. Well, you know what? I forgot because we had this conversation throughout the course yesterday. Um, I think part of this too, why you got this version of Karl Anthony Towns, is he's from Jersey, so more than likely he rooted for the Knicks growing up. So
mm,
this wasn't just playing for a team, that you play for. This is playing for your team, your hometown team, the team you suffered with. And you know what? I'm gonna read because last night I told you I was gonna start with something else, but I kind of changed it up on the fly because I wanted Perry to have first say. Here's what I had for last night, and I'm gonna change some of the words just to make it fit this morning. Last night, history opened the record book. It took pen to paper and wrote down for all time. For all time, the year 2026 will forever be known as the New York Knicks NBA champions. It's something they can't take away from you. There's nothing else they can say. All they can do is acknowledge you. In a city and a state that endured the lack of a championship, often getting close, but getting the air taken out of their sails, tonight, joy is eternal. Or last night, joy is eternal. As generations of Knicks fans hug in exultation, fathers hug sons, grandfathers hug grandsons, friends hug friends. Today forever goes down in infamy as 2026, the New York Knicks finals champs. And they erase 53 years of pain. Because going forward from today, everybody doesn't think about what happened before this title. This title starts a whole new history book for them.
agreed. Agreed. I love it. Man, you would think the way I feel this morning, you would
That
think
you won the
that,
championship.
yeah, because it's one of those things where I put rivalry aside. And the Spurs, I watched the Spurs dynasty be built, and then I watched it fall. And then I'm watching it being rebuilt, but I also watched the Knicks. And I've been doing this for almost 40 years, 38 years. I started watching basketball in about 88, 89. So I watched the Knicks be on the cusp year after year and never make it. And then when they finally made it, they went 7 games. And I always say if Ewing was healthy, if he was fully healthy, they would have beat the Rockets. But I digress. When they lost to the Spurs in 99, if they had a little bit more firepower, and I watched how dominant they were, they just couldn't get over the hump. And to see it now, and those diehard fans, those fans, Spike Lee, and he's been a Knick fan he's been going to Knick games since 85. So we talking 41 years, and he got his championship. I'm loving that, man. But it makes me feel like I won one too. But I can't claim this one because this ain't my show. This is just good to see. Jalen Brunson is MVP. We talked about this. I want to say it was Thursday. And we were talking about who would be finals MVP. Would it be OG or would it be Brunson? I thought it would be Brunson, but I was like, if you want to be technical, they could split that. But I think Brunson really showed out last night. He showed off, showed up, and showed out.
Yeah, last night he gave you 45. That 45 alone is what won. I mean, that wins them the game. And I think it just etched everything in stone that this is how do I want to say it? I think he just made sure he made it definitive that he was the MVP. He was the Batman. He was the one, the showstopper, and OG was a good sidekick. But yeah, I thought this was I thought he just made it known.
I'm gonna say something, and it's
Say
been
it.
a lot of graphics. I said something about this in our messenger chat. How can you have a graphic of Jalen Brunson walking up to the mountaintop as a New York Knick, and you have Patrick Ewing, Carmelo Anthony, Walt Clyde Frazier. I forget who the fourth one was, but I was like, why is Melo on that mountain anyway? Somebody else say, well, Brunson then took New York from Melo. And I'm like, why does everybody think Carmelo Anthony as a Knick was his best years when they didn't win?
You and Bossman are the two hardest people on the Carmelo Anthony Knick saga. And it's kind of funny to me because I hear y'all say it a lot, and I don't get it, but it's okay. It's okay, and we'll figure it out one day. But I think Melo had a time. I think part of their problem was they couldn't put the right pieces around Melo to make the Melo piece work. They had Jr. They had Shumpert and company. And then they traded them to the Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers end up winning the title with those two. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? And I think that's the whole key, or the part that for me just doesn't make sense is they've I don't think he deserves to be on their Mount Rushmore. No. I'll say that. But he does deserve some mention in the history of this thing. I'll say it that way.
Maddie said, I bet ABC not happy between both finals doing so well. I'm sure they wanted another game. I'm sure of that too.
I think they're okay because they've had 5 of their highest rated games of the year. So, I mean, would you want that revenue? Yes, of course you do. But I think the last numbers I saw was somewhere in the neighborhood of between 21 and 25 viewers, 25 million viewers on one of those. Let me see if I can pull, because I don't want to say that and then it not be the right thing. Let me see what Perry has. Here he goes. So 20.9 million viewers for game 4. The peak was at 23.2. That's 123% over the year before. Let me see if he has game 3 in here, because he was posting them as he was going along. But I know game 3 or game 2 was around 15 to 17. So they got their numbers. I don't know what this saying means. NBA finally gave the Knicks fans what they wanted. I don't know if they gave it to them because I think
that was earned.
Yeah.
Perry said Melo's best years were with the Knicks, not Denver. Sorry. Individually, yes. But he made the playoffs how many times? Once in 7 years. Once. And he said Melo brought the city back.
That's not, no, you can't poo-poo that. See, you poo-pooing the narrative. The narrative, like, I think there's so much when you have a team that struggles and is struggling, you start losing people. People start leaving the fan base. They start jumping off the bandwagon. And if he believes Melo brought the city back, then that's warranted, dog. You can't be like, he only had one appearance.
No. Only he can say that. Only because he can say that because he lived it. That's something that he can say. For me, I was like Melo. I'm on the outside looking in when I say that. Because I'm, the thing is, I feel that Derrick Rose brought the city of Chicago back.
That's true.
So, and that's why I say I understand that. But that's why I was like, I can't say anything. I don't have anything to come back off.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about last night's finals victory by the New York Knicks. But before we go forward, just know if you stick around towards the end, we have a great question. We feature the four major sports and their trophies: the World Series, the NBA, Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl trophy. And at the end, the question is, if you could only win one, which title would it be and why? So if you stick around to the end, make sure you throw your answer in the comments and we'll get to it and read it. Go ahead, KG. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Perry said best finals rating since 1998. ABC's okay. And he said a 23.8 for game 3.
Yeah.
The boss checking in. He said Melo did wake the city up. He just didn't win. And Perry said he made the playoffs 3 times, won 1 series. Yeah, I'm looking at that now on Basketball Reference. They beat Boston in 13.
See, here's what I remember when I say we get fan eyes. That was your fan eyes moment.
Fan eyes. Yep. This is why we do this. This is why I'm gonna tell you something. And if Perry, you still watching, I'm gonna go ahead and give you your flowers yet again. This is why I can say certain things, and I know I'm in a space to be corrected because Perry gonna correct me, and I'm good. And he gonna get me. He gonna set me straight, and I'm good with that because I'm in a space that I can be corrected. And I was wrong. Made the playoffs 3 times. But I don't really blame him for the Knicks years. I just feel like they just didn't move stuff around. They didn't do what they needed to do. But
some of that's still
my thing.
That's the part where we were just talking about the poor decision making. There's some situations where there's just some bad decisions that were being made in New York. You know, the year they drafted the kid from France, the guard Frank Nitz, whatever his name was, and you have like Mitchell and somebody else right after him. I knew they were taking him because I said his name when I saw him on the thing. Because I think that's when maybe Phil was in charge. Pray, correct me, please, because I don't want that to be the wrong answer and people think that I'm out here throwing out crazy stuff. But I just think this team was different and was special. The Melo years, it served its part to get the city back. And now we're here where tomorrow the Melo years don't matter. They don't hurt as much. The Charles Smith not being able to get the shot off with the 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock against the Bulls, that's gone. Like, that's not the first story anymore. The first story is 5, and I'm gonna give it to JoJo. Big body, the lefty, Brunson A. She has some of the wildest nicknames. She could be Chris Berman, baby, for all we know. But yeah, man, it's just the story changes. From here on, the story is forever changed.
Now, see, I can't agree with Tim was saying that. He said going into the playoffs, nobody had the Knicks winning it all. Then all of a sudden they turned to the 84 Lakers on the playoffs. Get the fuck out of here. Well, I got to disagree with you because on our preseason show, our season preview, I should say, I said the Knicks will win it all.
It was you and Perry.
So
and then as the playoffs got going, I mean, teams change. Let's be real. The teams and the dynamics changed, and New York just got hot. They got to a spot where they couldn't. Yeah, they did turn into the 84 Lakers. Things happen, man. I don't know. That's part of why we call sports, man. This is sports being sports. Sports sporting.
And Perry said Melo only had one competent GM, Glenn Grunwald.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil drafted Nicolina.
Yes. That was the French kid that was like 19 or whatever.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
84 Lakers didn't win the title. JoJo said that in the playoffs, I said they had a shot. I had them picked from gate. The boss said Lee Ice picked the Knicks to win also.
Yep. Good call, boss.
In the ATL series.
So she called the Knicks to win it after the ATL series or during the ATL series.
And Tim said, yeah, things happen. The NBA, nah, you can't take that. You can't take that from them. Now, we did this thing with the NBA playoffs. And we did it on ESPN. We did the playoff bracket challenge.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And we got a Stanley Cup bracket challenge as well. So I just want to go through everything there.
You must have won.
I did. First place goes the Hondo's Rings. And out of everybody, I was the only one that picked the Knicks to win the championship.
Yep.
ESPN Picks One was second. Bay Blitz was third. Fat Poet was fourth, tied with Bay Blitz Picks 2, and Midnight Rider was 6. I was gonna win that regardless. I was even if the Knicks would have lost, I'd have won that because I was so far ahead. I was at 1120. Second place is at 600.
Yeah, when who was it? Who did I have? I had OKC. Also had Boston. Thanks, Tim. And I think I had the Nuggets. Those are the ones that killed me. But yeah, good job, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it again. The boss said the Knicks broke the Spurs' wheel. I think that's true.
I don't think they had to break their will. I honestly think that those young guys were fighting in a place where they were fighting quicksand. Like they were trying to do something that they couldn't do. They couldn't elevate themselves out of the quicksand because like I said, I think they spent too much in the prior matchup. And I think they came into this and they didn't know. They didn't know what they needed. And maybe Harrison Barnes was there and he was telling them, but they had to see it. They had to be there. Some of them, the stuff they did, and shout out to, I think it was OG, that was either the OG or Hart. When Dilla Harper comes down the court full speed and goes for that last layup in one of the last 3 or 4 possessions and he misses the layup. But they did the ultimate pull the chair move on him because I think he was expecting contact and he left the ground a little bit earlier than he wanted to. And when he didn't get met, he kind of left it short. And I think there are just plays in this series where you can just point to Wemby throwing it off the guy's back. The OG tip. Like every game had a play where you can sit there and be like, oh yeah. Now, the one thing I don't care about is I'm kind of like Mike Zimmer. Don't tell me about the pregnancy, tell me about the baby. Like, tell me about the results. Let's not talk about how we got here because there's so many different things that we could say. We could say, oh, the refs gave it to him. Well, how did the refs give it to him when all week I was hearing the Spurs got all the calls. So, like, we got to, like, yeah. So let's talk about the end result and, like, how we got to the end result.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah. He didn't know. He hit the mute button. There you go. There you go.
I'm going to tell you something. Mike Brown. There's 2 things. Mike Brown's second half game plan. Whatever he wrote down needs to go to the Naismith Hall of Fame. Whatever he wrote down in this series for his second half game plan, has to go to the Hall of Fame. It has to, because the Knicks were two different teams. In the first half, they were like a boxer in a championship match. They was just jabbing, setting up, trying to feel you out, see where your weak spots are. Then the second half, it's like they were just like an animal, like a machine. They turned into 87 Tyson. And was like, all right, we just going to, pepper you and we're going to knock your ass out.
I don't even think it was his game plan. I think if you heard them in the post game, they said, they were chanting, "Who let the dogs out?" And I think that talks to a mentality more so than anything else. Is, all right, you know what? We down, we in the spot. Let's tap into that inner dog and let's make this happen. Like, let's not hope that we win this ball game. Let's win this ball game. And I think that's the difference to me of this whole situation is this team, every time they went into the thing, they came out of the halftime with a belief. And sometimes when you give teams hope and belief, nothing is impossible. In the words of KG, anything is possible. And I think that's what it was. They got to a certain point, they was like, all right, we down 20. Let's just make it happen. They chipped away because they knew their will and resolve was stronger. We had already done this. We've already proven to ourselves that we can make comebacks.
Yeah. Largest comeback in finals history.
So let's just go ahead and do it. And I said this, and this is one thing I wanted to get to before we get off of this topic. Somebody said ABC, I think Maddie said ABC is going to be mad about this series. And I say there's no way. And I'm going to tell you how. This is what I saw yesterday. My day yesterday. I go to pick up Josh because he's going with me to this event. And then I pick him up. He gets in the car. First question he asked me, no, he doesn't ask me that. We go pick up his girlfriend. So she gets in the car, they sitting there, and then they ask me together, who are you rooting for in the Knicks series? And I'm like, what? This is my son that doesn't really follow sports. And one of the first questions out of his mouth to me is about the Knicks and the Spurs. And I was like, all right. I get to the event that we're at. Shout out to the McAfees, Thomas McAfee and his family. Thomas, diehard Knicks fan. And I'm going to tell him now here that I'm jealous because when your team won the chip, you got to turn and hug your dad, dog. And I know Father's Day is next week, but there's something special about growing up knowing that you're rooting for a team that your dad rooted for. And this is why I said that in the earlier thing, where fathers get to hug sons. There's no better moment when your team was a championship than to hug your pops because he made you believe in them. He's probably part of the reason why you held steadfast during the whole time. They failed, they flopped, they lost games. You didn't waver because you got that belief system from him. So that's a tangent. Back on to the train tracks. When we get to the event, I get down to the bar. Bartender starts having a conversation with me. We started talking Knicks Spurs. Somebody else comes in, Knicks Spurs. Dude, I didn't have a conversation that didn't start with the question, who are you rooting for, Knicks or the Spurs? And if I did, it was probably two. Because they was like, because I hadn't seen them in so long. They were like, hey, how you been? What's going on? And then we started another conversation. Then before the conversation was over, who you got, Knicks or Spurs? Like, I talked Knicks Spurs yesterday so much that it was part of the day. So I don't think ABC gonna be hurting too much on this one.
Well, let me ask this question to everybody present. Just a thought that I had last night, and I said it'll probably never happen. in our lifetime, again, because some of us are older than others, and you got to be, I think, you got to be at least 65 for this to be in your lifetime, I think. I was thinking about if they didn't give the MVP to OG or Brunson, I was like, this is just a thought, fleeting thought. I was like, as well as Dylan Harper's been playing, even if they lose, they would probably be like, we're going to name Dylan Harper Finals MVP. It wouldn't happen. Now, it's happened before. Jerry West won Finals MVP while losing the series. And I was like, if they ever did it, they would give it to Dylan Harper because he, as a rookie, this is what he's playing as a rookie. And he was lights out. And I was like, I could see it. But I don't know if anybody else saw it, or was I just like really in La La Land?
You were in La La Land.
Okay.
Because there's no way. I mean, but here's I love the thought process, but here's why I say you were in La La Land. The way this media works, they always reward the team that won. They don't think. The only time I think they even got close, and Maddie can correct me on this, I think there was either in the last couple of years where Connor McDavid may have won whatever the MVP of the Stanley Cup Finals. Even though they lost the finals, I think he deserved to win it, and he might have won it. I don't remember offhand, so that's why I'm asking Maddie to jump in the comments because I don't remember that scenario and how it went out. But I remember the conversation around McDavid possibly being the MVP. So, but in this world, I think we reward the top guy. Like nephew Josh said something on Nothing But Net Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. on the network, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. But he says something every time when we talk about this topic. He says that how do I want to say this? I'm starting to lose my train of thought. KG, talk to me.
Well,
just where were we going with this?
We were talking about Dylan Harper possibly winning Finals MVP.
All right, thank you. So, Josh says that his rule is whoever's the number one seed in the Western Conference, their best player should be the MVP of the NBA because the Western Conference is the better conference. Thank you for getting me back on track because I knew where I was going. I just kind of lost the way a little bit. But yeah, he said that the Western Conference, whoever the best player is on the Western Conference team should win it. And I think that sometimes is the thought process. Like I don't know if we know what MVP means anymore. I think we just call it the best player on the best team. You got a smile on your face. This next comment is gonna be fun.
Well, let me run through these comments. Perry said Mike Tyson Triple G like Cat said. Lee Ice checking in. He said Doc Rivers, Mitch Johnson blew the series.
I don't think he's nah, that's disrespectful to Mitch. That's disrespectful to Mitch. Mitch ain't on Doc Rivers. He wasn't up 3-1.
He wasn't up 3-0, yeah. Boone said Becky Hammond needs to make a public apology. I thought she did. I thought she said something on X about apologizing.
That's Boone, I love you for that one. But no, she don't need to make a public apology because then everybody that said when this move happened for them to pick up Brunson, and it's a real with everybody that said that he's not a 1A, he's not a 1B, he's Ricky Bell, he's Marlon Jackson, whatever they said, however they said it. All those people need to make public apologies too. If she got to make a public apology, that's all I'm saying.
Perry said waiting to see Paul Pierce.
I don't know what he said, but whatever it is, I know Perry knows. Because Perry's always
got his finger on the pulse.
Yes.
And he said, talking about Dylan Harper winning MVP, if it was 4-3 and not 4-1.
Yes, totally agree.
Okay. I can see that. Boone said, "Get Midnight Rider some pre-vegan. It's starting to happen."
I don't know what Prevagen is, but I don't want to deal with the depression and everything else that comes with some of them drugs. I don't care about the side effects. I'm good.
Who you touch? JoJo said, "Yeah, not Doc Rivers." Let's call the others who said Brunson wasn't going to work.
Come on, yeah, that's it. Because there's a bunch of them.
At least she was woman enough to say she was wrong. And Perry said, "Pierce is a legendary Knick hater." Yeah, he is.
But isn't he supposed to?
I mean, yeah, but nah. Pierce is a little bit more than just a Knick hater, man. He's a revisionist hater.
That's not going out. Let's not go into that. Where are we at?
Oh man, you want to take a break and then come back and then jump into the Stanley Cup Finals? You want to just keep rolling?
Let's roll through the Stanley Cup Finals real quick, because I don't think we're gonna Matty this, and go too much.
All right, Stanley Cup Finals tonight at 8 p.m. The Hurricanes take on the Golden Knights. Hurricanes are leading the series 3-2. I think this is the first game that we not in progress. So
yes. So there will be no horns tonight or today.
The Hurricanes have a chance to close it out in Vegas, which would be absolutely wonderful around the Sideline Junkies office, because, we'll have two, not one, but two championship celebrations going on. And Perry, if you're still in the comments, are you going up to New York for the parade on Thursday?
He can't, because he's going. So we had this discussion last night. If you didn't catch this, we had the impromptu celebration show. Actually, you know what? When we get off the air today, you should air that like around 1.
That was my look at that. See, we've been doing this too long because you already read my mind. God, you already read my mind.
Yeah, but we should air that because But last night because I broke the news to him, it was 1. But Perry has tickets to see Jill Scott on Thursday night. So unfortunately, he'll be hanging with Jilly from Philly, and he will miss the parade. Nah, Doug.
Okay, it all depends on what venue.
For what I paid for them Jill Scott tickets, I'm hanging with Jilly from Philly.
Okay, never mind. Because I was gonna say it depends on what venue. Like if she was doing something, like if you in DC, if she was doing something like the 930 Club, yeah, I gotta be there. But if she's doing Capital One, I can miss that.
No. It's the other way around. If she's at Capital One, you pay the pretty penny. Or if she's at MGM National Harbor,
right?
Which will be on June 23rd. Pretty penny.
But no, I say 930 Club because her performance in smaller venues.
I got you.
Lord have mercy. Now, let me go ahead and stop.
That's why I've never been. That's why I never went. I like to keep my drawers on. I already know my drawers.
You got to pull a Ray Charles. So let me get the hell out of here before you talk me out my drawers, girl. But we got the Hurricanes and Golden Knights tonight. If necessary, it shifts back on Wednesday to Carolina. I've been saying this the last 3 games. Carolina has to punch the gorilla in the mouth. But once you punch him in the mouth, keep punching. I need Carolina to take this one 7-1. I leave no doubt. 7-1 tonight, Carolina.
Who are you? You Coach Boone? And
Coach Yost.
Yeah, yo, don't leave no doubt, boo. All right, I'm sorry. Random. So what we had? We got 5-4, game one, Golden Knights. Game two was 4-3, OT. Game three, 4-3, OT. I said that, I think. Um, 5-4, two overtimes. 5-3 and 4-2. So now we're sitting here at 3-2 Hurricanes going into Sunday night. I think the only thing that we can put down for sure is the way this has been going. Jordan Stahl is going to score a goal. Jordan Stahl has found the fountain of youth and scored in every one of these ball games. So if you want a prop that you can take home, you ain't gonna get much money because I think the number's gonna be off on this one. But that's the place. That's the place to go with Jordan Stahl. But it's ironic because hockey is as fickle as baseball is. Because before this, we had the kid. I think the Hurricanes goalie was the guy Anderson. Now they're at on Bussy, and if you paid attention to Drive Time, Matty Ice and them talked about Bussy and his whole story. 27-year-old rookie. Um, he actually saved the early part of the season for the Carolina Hurricanes, and now we're here, and now possibly he's saving their season again because he's played so well in net for them in the last two games. So I think the Hurricanes. I think the Hurricanes take this home tonight. I think it ends tonight, and that's kind of the reason why I posted our question in the chat. It's because I think it ends tonight.
And
What's
I
your
love
thought?
that. I need you to put your betting hat on and explain something to me.
I don't know if I can.
Now I looked up Jordan Stahl because as you were saying it, I was already on FanDuel and I was like, if I put in an anytime goal, how much money could I win? It says he's a plus 320 for anytime
So
goal.
you gotta just put the number in. So like normally FanDuel will tell you if you bet 10, it'll give you a number.
Okay, bet 10, I can win $32.
Yep. So if you bet 100, you win 320.
Yep. Okay. All right. And then at first, what is the first is a 1900, a plus 1900. Second is a
So
plus
yeah, so
3500. And third is a 22,500.
yeah. I don't know if you want. First, I hate first goals because you never know how the game's gonna play out. But I mean, if you want to dance with the devil, I mean, it's worth the risk if you want to take the risk. Because that 10 that turns into 32 goes from being 32 on an anytime to 190 on the first goal.
Now, what's
There's a great
crazy?
thing um there's actually this line in casino where there's the whale from who's playing Baccarat. And they said in the little dialogue as he was doing this, they were like, if he bets small and he wins, he feels like he loses more by winning small than betting big and winning. So in my terms, don't check the check down, throw the bomb.
Mm, agreed. Uh, that's tonight, 8 o'clock. Um, I'm
Do
excited.
do you mind if I take us to break?
Go ahead.
Hold on, no. Go ahead, finish your thought, but I'll set up the break.
No, I'm good. That's tonight at 8. I'm excited. We gonna hopefully have another one. Let's 2 nights in a row with 2 nights in a row. Let's have a championship celebration. So let's go.
All right. So real quick, ladies and gentlemen, take a quick break. Come back. hit you with the Miles report, hit you with a little USA soccer, and then we probably hit you with the closeout and take you home with what are you eating today, and then final thoughts. With that being said, this is the Sideline Junkies brought to you by absolutely nobody because we don't have a sponsor right now. So here we go. Commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our commercial for Drive Time, which airs tomorrow at 5 p.m. If you want your hockey information, you want to get in touch with hockey and learn hockey and get the best analysis on hockey, host for host, post to post, is nothing better than the Drive Time team. And then they're going to fill you in on everything else because they can cover everything else as well. That's the one beauty of this network is we try to cover everything the best we can, and what we don't know, we get people that do know to help us out. With that being said, we're about to continue on with the Sunday Rise brought to you by the Sideline Junkies. I'm the Midnight Rider. He's the big guy, KG. What's our next move?
Well, we got to go into the Miles report / WNBA report here.
All right. Let's do that. Let's hit our overlay.
Move us to the side and throw this graphic up because this has got to be discussed. This has got to be talked about. Get it right there.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Your rookie of the year. You ain't gonna make no money betting this. But this is your rookie of the year. Her last 5 games, Miss Miles, Olivia Miles, gave you 19, 4, and 9 on June 1st. On June 4th, against Golden State, she gave you 28, 7, and 8 3-pointers made. In Seattle, she went for 19, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Against Dallas, she went for 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. And last night, facing the Aces, she stepped up big time last night. She helped carry this team and make this a ball game. They lost by 3 at the end, but 29 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. Olivia Miles, your future rookie of the year, has been putting in work. And if you don't know, then you got your eyes closed or you don't want to know. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. We cover this young lady every time, all the time, as much as possible because she's doing something special. She's got some things going on right now that if you love basketball, as many of you do, you have to put some respect on her name and respect on what she's doing right now in this league. But it wouldn't be fair if I didn't cover the rest of the league. So starting on Thursday night, because we ended Thursday's show before these scores went final. The Fever 114, the Sky 106 in overtime, Liberty 104, the Dream 90, the Dallas Wings 85, the Mercury 70. I'm curious on this one. What did the young lady Azzy Fudd do? Because everybody keeps throwing Fudd up, and they're trying to make Fudd look like she's not worthy of the first pick, and I think she is. Well, it looks like Beckers went for 31, 6, and 5 on Thursday night. Fudd went 17, 3, and 4. So 17 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Beckers 31 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. What On Phoenix, they really didn't have a big show out from anybody. Let's go back real quick. And then the Aces beat the Fire 105 to 89. On Friday night, Mystics beat the Tempo 86 to 85. And I think the biggest thing from that night was Lauren Betts, a young lady from UCLA, came out, gave you 18 points on 21 minutes and 4 rebounds. Um, oh, dang. Shakira Austin gave you 12 points, 11 rebounds. And then on the Tempo side, let's see, Marina Mabry gave you 27 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists. Then we move forward. Oh, the Valkyrie wins 76 to 72 over the Storm. Last night, we had the Fever 85, the Sun 75. And in that ball game, Caitlin Clark went 25, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. On the other side, kind of a balanced attack. So nothing major there. We talked about the Lynx and the Aces, but let's talk about, the star of the league. Aja Wilson went for 24-10. Jackie Young went for 16, 5, and 10 assists. And then Chelsea Gray, good God, Chelsea Gray gave him 23, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. Like, that doesn't even seem like it's fair that those three are on the same team, but let me digress. The Wings and the Fire win 84 to 83. And then we lead up to today's slate. And today's slate, the Mystics play the Liberty at 3 p.m. on NBA TV. And the Tempo play the Dream at 3 p.m. during I guess that's the WNBA's Commissioner Cup. So I guess maybe this is semis. They don't give us great detail on this. So I'm gonna leave that alone because I don't want to speculate. There you go, KJ.
Appreciate that. Going back to Olivia Miles, she's picking up so much traction from non-WNBA fans. They like, who is this? And I'm like, you guys haven't been watching? See, if you watch the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network and you watch the multitude of shows that the Midnight Rider appears on, when he starts talking women basketball with C. Perry II, you'll hear them talk about Olivia Miles. He's been talking about Olivia Miles since she was in college. So, if you watch these shows, you would know who these people are.
Her and Hannah Hidalgo.
Yep. So, just want to say that. And I just hope she continues to rise, man. She may be the new face of the league because they have no answer for her.
Because she does everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything.
Everything?
Everything. Ooh. NCAA outdoor track and field. Let's go.
Oh,
sorry.
Shoot, really? All right. No. Let's go ahead and get this done. Because, I like that.
Hold on. No, that's not the right channel. I got to figure it out where it's on. Go ahead. What's next?
World Cup update. Because Midnight Rider hit me yesterday. It was yesterday? Or was it Friday? It was yesterday.
It was Friday.
And the excitement in his voice was unmatched. So please talk about the USA and how they played.
So leading up to this whole thing, I had some trepidations of them playing Paraguay because Paraguay played very well in their friendlies leading up to the tournament. And if you don't know what a friendly is, friendlies are basically like preseason games if you're an NFL fan. Paraguay had a couple of upsets. They beat some big name teams in their lead up. So I was a little nervous, but then when I was talking about this team, I said the USA team is, and I said this on purpose, and I said it this way on purpose. It's the most talented team that Team USA has ever had. in a World Cup situation. They may not ever be the best team because they aren't the Landon Donovan, Alexi Lawless team in the 90s or 2000s. Because these guys play all over the world, so they don't have that time to spend together to build the team aspect of this. But what I saw on Friday night, Christian Pulisic pulls off a couple moves in this match, splitting defenders, being a playmaker. Um, this team has the ability and opportunity to create a generation of soccer players where the USA can maybe take that next step. And because right now we got some players that are really good. We don't have elite players, but we got some really good. And they've talked about because the last World Cup was supposed to be the dawn of the golden era in USA soccer. And it kind of fell flat. But this run here could be the dawn of the golden era. This could be Team USA actually getting to a place where they can be an elite soccer team where we matter in the landscape, where it's not, oh, just get out of knockout round is our apex. Where getting out of knockout round, the first round of the knockouts, is a disappointment. And if we get to that point, USA soccer has graduated to a place where it's never been. We in uncharted territories, grounds that this world has never seen. And the play that I saw on Friday night, the set pieces. I know some people were like, "Oh, we didn't like the set pieces." You're a soccer snob because Team USA has never put the pieces that I saw on Friday night in action. I don't care what you say. You can tell me I'm a fool. You can tell me I'm crazy. I'll just be a fool when I'm crazy because I know what I saw. I know what these two eyes seen. Well, actually four because I got glasses on. So we know what we saw. I ain't never seen USA with the creativity, with their touches. When I talk about creativity, we talking about how you shape shots, how you make passes. Team USA has never, ever, ever moved the soccer ball the way they did on Friday night. They beat Paraguay 3-1, I think was the final. And yes, they do have some issues. And the problem this team's gonna have is their back line. Their defensemen and their goalie is gonna be their death sentence. It's gonna tell you how far this team can go. This team honestly gave me enough hope that I could see them in the quarters, semis. But the problem is that back line is so dang janky. So I mean, it's almost gonna be a situation where if they can cover their weaknesses as much as possible, then they got a chance. And that's all I got with the World Cup update. Go ahead, ask your question because I saw the question that already formed.
You said something about the rebirth, and I remember, a couple of rebirths of soccer in the United States. The Freddie Adu's and when the women's national team with Mia Hamm and company. I remember all of that. If we get something like that in 2026, an explosion like that, no.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Freddie Adu. Well, I don't even think he made the national team, but he would never make the national team. Kobe Jones would never make this team as currently constructed. Landon Donovan would be a late game sub on his best day. On his best day on this team. In my eyes, I don't see I don't see Landon Donovan taking any one of these guys off the 11 unless he decided to be a backfielder, unless he or whatever they're called, the defenders. If he doesn't want to be, if he's not going to sacrifice, like Alexi Lalas couldn't make this team.
Okay.
This team is man for man. This is the best USTA team I've ever seen. Again, I use this word on purpose. He's there. This is the best team. I'm sorry, the best players I've seen on a team. I just don't know if they're the best team. And that's where the transition comes. You can be more talented, but you might not be the best team.
All right. Well, we'll have more World Cup updates as the week progresses and as the World Cup progresses, because we got picks that we got out there. So
no, we have none of. Oh yeah, we got the finals picks, but then don't forget the knockout round. We'll do our ESPN thing for the knockout round.
Okay. For after. Okay, gotcha. Now to our question of the afternoon. If you could win any championship, which one would you choose? JoJo picked the Super Bowl championship.
Okay. Well,
how about you?
I'm taking the Stanley Cup. And there's a reason I'm taking the Stanley Cup. And this is highly personal, but it's also because the Stanley Cup has a unique thing that no other trophy has. You get to spend a day with the Stanley Cup. Like they literally drive the cup to your house. And you have the opportunity to spend the day with the cup. And you can take it around your country, you can take it around your family, whatever it is. And based on yesterday is why I picked the Stanley Cup. Because it would be nothing like having the Juneteenth celebration, the Stanley Cup there, and then we have people take shots, drinks out of the Stanley Cup as part of the celebration. It'd be the dopest Juneteenth celebration that anybody's ever had, but it'd also be a thing where it's just like, yeah, I think the Stanley Cup is so special because everybody gets to hold all the trophies at a certain point in time, but I think it's something more dynamic with where you get to skate around the rink, like where everybody gets to touch it and go around the rink with that title or with that championship. And it's more the sentimental value than anything else that makes me want to pick the Stanley Cup.
You know, to piggyback off of that, not only do you get to have a day with it and skate around with it, your name is etched in it forever.
Right. So the other part is, so like as time goes on, of course they have to make room for the other brackets. But that bracket, I think, and Maddie, if he's still around, he can correct me, but I think those brackets live in infamy in like the Hall of Fame or something like that as you go through and through. So yes, you forever remain on the trophy, but you don't always remain on the trophy. You remain as piece of the trophy somewhere in the archives.
Okay. For me, I had to really think on this one.
That's why we asked the question.
And I think it's an NBA championship trophy.
Okay.
Because don't get me wrong, the Stanley Cup, great. I mean, only problem is you got to give it back after if you don't win again, you got to give it back.
I mean, it's just like all the other leagues where there's a replica. I mean, there's a version of the trophy that stays in your facility the whole time. Just like the Super Bowl trophy, the Commanders have, or the Redskins have 3 Super Bowl trophies sitting in their archives because that's their trophy.
Yeah. And
Lakers have their 17 sitting somewhere. The Nationals have their 1 sitting somewhere.
And Only team that doesn't have all their Super Bowl trophies, the Colts.
I knew you was gonna say that. Go ahead, keep going.
But no, I say the NBA championship. I don't know. It's just like, don't get me wrong, all of them are special, but it's like that's the one that I always wanted to hoist. That's the one that I always wanted to win. It's just something about that one. I don't know. Now, if
Hold
you'd
on one
asked
second.
this question 25, 30 years ago, I'd have said the Super Bowl trophy.
I mean, I think if the Stanley Cup didn't have that extra feature of being able to take it with you, I think I'd won the World Series.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That World Series trophy, man. I think the world. Now I'm gonna ask a caveat, just an extra question. What you think is the hardest one to win?
Hold on. All right. Say that question one more time.
Which trophy you think is the hardest to win?
I don't know if there's a way to answer that. And here's why I'm gonna say it this way. I'm not copping out my answer. I think they all have their uniqueness. I think actually no, I'll say it this way. I think the Stanley Cup's the hardest to win. Because you could go into the Stanley Cup playoffs as the 1 or the 8, and I think you have an equal chance at winning the title, um, based on how your team performs. Like I don't remember like going. I mean, occasionally the wild card in the Super Bowl trophy era wins it, but it doesn't happen often. But you've seen some Stanley Cup championships where the 4 or the 5 seed, the lower seeds win. NBA doesn't really happen that often where you get that Cinderella that goes to win the championship. MLB doesn't really happen. So I would say um the hardest to win is the Stanley Cup because anybody can win it. It doesn't just because you're the best team doesn't guarantee you the championship. And KG, if you I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to send you something because I want to see if we can share this before the show goes out.
Okay.
Actually, I think I should be able to upload this. What do you think is the hardest one to win?
I think it's the World Series.
Okay.
Because I mean, you gotta have. It's like so many key factors in it. You can be the best team. You can be 110 victories in the regular season and breeze through the playoffs, get to the World Series, and then all of a sudden you facing off against a team that you don't really know too well, and they get hot.
All right.
And that's it.
No, it makes all the sense in the world, my man. Let's see. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to do something on the side of here.
I got you. A couple of comments, or a comment, you should say. Let's get to it. And Maddie said, I mean, the Stanley Cup trophy. The Stanley Cup is the trophy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But being able to spend the day, like, that's always been the thing. Like, to kiss the cup, to drink out of the cup. It's like, you put it poignantly, you put it perfectly. It's one of those things. And then being able to take it home for the day, you get to spend 24 hours with it and chill with it.
Right.
Like, you know, you'll have somebody, they'll do a parade or something, and you'll have the Super Bowl trophy, you'll have the World Series trophy, you'll have the Larry O'Brien and everything.
Right, and that's one day. Yeah, exactly. That's what. Go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. That's just one day that everybody gets to touch it, but taking it home individually one day.
All right, I think I got it loaded up. I'm gonna try to go to because this is my buddy Thomas. We were at this place and let me see how this video turns
Allen
out.
Houston in the building.
All right.
Let's go. One free throw. Come on, OG. Come on, OG. Come on, damn it. Come on, man. Oh, come on, man.
Everybody feeling the pressure.
Come on, man.
Everybody feeling the pressure.
No foul. How close this is you. Get 11. Get 11. Bend your knees.
Yes! No fouls. No fouls. No fouls. Get away. Get away. Get away. Yes! 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 Finally! Let's go! Yes! Congratulations! Yes!
That is my boy Thomas McAfee, lifelong Knicks fan. I've had to sit through watching the Giants beat the Patriots twice with this young man. Of course, he sat through some Lakers championships, so it all equals itself out in the long run. But no, I just wanted to post that because, yeah, last night we were talking about this, and I know he was super excited, and I just love the natural reaction. I wish he had it to where, because his pops has been going through some things physically and struggling. So I know last night meant a lot to his dad. He's got a 3-year-old son. Like that whole lineage thing kind of just sits out there. And then it's the biggest night. It's the night that you invite everybody into your home. It's just a synergy. So much synergy. I just yeah, man. It's one of those things that make you smile because you know, like I know what I would have given up in 2019 to be able to turn when that ball goes off the foul pole, Pop Kendrick, and see my pop smile. You know, it's those moments that we as sports fans take advantage of, but they mean so much more. Like even if the Hurricanes win tonight, the fact that Matty Ice can turn to Sarah, turn to Jared, turn to everybody, and like those hugs and the energy in those hugs. And if they aren't hugs, they're phone calls, and the excitement in those phone calls. Just as Maddie says, chef kiss.
I'm not even gonna try to piggyback off that. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not. And Maddie said Thomas is good people. Yeah. And
Yeah,
when I tell you
in our league too.
the happiness I have for other people is wonderful. And
It's the joy, man. It's pure joy.
to all diehard Knicks fans,
Yep.
all New Yorkers, it's championships for you, man. And hopefully we celebrate tonight. I told Perry I gotta go to the store today. So I gotta go get me a 12-pack. Go get me a 12-pack of cream soda. That way we can have double celebration. I can pop it. I can pop me a cream soda, one cream soda for the Knicks, one cream soda for Carolina, and celebrate with the family. So speaking of which, Midnight Rider, what you eating today?
Well, I got leftover po' boys, so we're gonna eat a po' boy, and I think I got coleslaw. I think I snuck out some coleslaw. But shout out to, I think the name of the place was, you know what? I don't want to shout out the place, but whoever they had cater last night, they did a shrimp and grits, and I haven't had shrimp and grits in a while. I had me like 3 bowls of shrimp and grits last night. It was ridiculous. It was utterly fattening of me, and I'm ashamed of myself. I've been ashamed of myself this whole weekend because it started Friday. Friday, the job had donuts, and they brought Krispy Kremes in. Krispy Kreme glaze. What do you think the number is that I got to? Total donuts eaten in one day.
8.
Bam! And I stopped at 8 because I didn't want to be gluttonous and get to 10. Because 10 was possible. But I stopped at 8 because the guy was like, when I said 8 in the chat, he was like, whoa, that's a record. I was like, all right, I don't want to, yeah. So, but today, yeah, we eating a po' boy. I got some coleslaw. I think I'm going to try to use my cilantro lime sauce on it to kind of give me a little extra kick of flavor. And we good to go.
Maddie said, I think it's the best part of our podcast. We don't do that BS Barstool bullshit. It's all genuine. It is. It absolutely is. And he said, you get a good shrimp and grits with just a bit of cheese in the grits. That's good eating.
Bruh, all you did was I sprinkled the sauce on it, and I was like, wow. The cheese was in the grits. That's all I'm going to say. I might even call Tom to see if they're available because I might go back out and see if they got scrimps because I'm going to get some, yeah. Scrimps. Yeah, I said scrimps, dog. I did
Scrimps. As far as me, what you eating, I'm not sure, but I'm in the mood for a homemade sandwich. I might, you know what? I might go get some cold cuts. I gotta run to the store, so I might get some cold cuts, and it might be a cold cut day. And then if I eat a cold cut, you know what? I might go get me a pound of barbecue loaf. That's what I might do.
So you talked in a pre-show about catfish. What was the catfish thing you were talking about? Is there a place or does the
I gotta find another place that does it. Because the place that it was called Louisiana Express, they closed, but they said they closed and they renamed it. I just gotta find out what the new name is. If I can find out what the new name is, when I tell you about a catfish po' boy.
Okay, I got you. Catfish po'. That's what it was. All right. Because I was gonna tell you, dog. I don't know if this is seafood that's in District Heights. Right on. You need to give them a shout because I get there whiting, and I'm talking about like the takeout tray is full. Like they don't skimp you, they don't cheat you or nothing. It's always a good meal. So I haven't had their catfish yet, but I think if I do their catfish, I'm gonna go pick it up because I don't want that extra charge from DoorDash.
So when you say their whiting is better than Horse and Dickie's, now Horse and Dickie's, you get a whiting sandwich, you supposed to get 4 pieces of fish. You get 6 to 8 most times.
So I only had the original Horace and Dickie's experience once or twice. They're not giving you 6 to 8 pieces, but they're not giving you like this whiting ain't small. I'll say it that way. I'll send you a picture of what they sent me.
Okay. And speaking of Horace and Dickie's, that you said the original. You talking about on 8th Street?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's crazy is I used to go down there on Fridays. That was one of my Friday spots. Go down there, run in there, grab it, and then come on out. And me and my mom would go in there. Shout out and rest in peace to Big Mama. If you have never seen Man vs. Food when they were in DC, they went to Horse and Dickie's. And it was one night I was in there with my mom. We were in line. I was messing with my mother, and I had my hand on the counter, and she jabbed me with a fork in my hand. And ever since then, every time I go in there, I always look for her, and she always remember me. Even when they moved over here on Allentown Road,
Yes.
I would go in there to pick up doing Uber Eats, and I would always go in there to talk to her. So, and I know if she was in there, I knew everything was gonna be all right. I didn't have to check nothing. So, shout out to them.
Yeah, that's where I got them. So the last time I had Horace and Dickies was the Allentown Road joint.
Okay.
And that's when I was working out that way.
You got that one and the one in Glen Arden now. So,
yeah.
And I've been to both, and I have never been disappointed. Never.
No, not at all. Never, ever. I don't think I did there. I think I did their Whiting. And then there's a joint Mid Atlantic in New Carrollton. I used to get their catfish, and they were pretty good. But there's a place they haven't relocated yet in Columbia. It's called Chicken Friends, and we did that with one of our other spots, and they had a catfish, bruh. Every time I went, I get two-piece cold chicken and a catfish. So what cold chicken is if the chicken sat for longer than a certain amount of time, they sold it at a discount instead of selling to you as if it was the regular chicken. So I get two pieces of that, dark meat, and then catfish. I was good to go for the rest of the weekend.
Man. Maddie said we may go homemade enchiladas tonight. Damn.
Okay.
Damn, that do sound good.
Yeah, stop talking. Let's go ahead and get out of here because we're gonna change the menu 4 or 5 times before we finish.
Oh man. Well, it's time.
One thing we can't say is we don't do no overtime because we are.
No, we can't say that because we are way over. But it's time to wrap that shit up. B. Final thoughts before we get out of here.
Well, stick around because I think if we can get it uploaded at 1, we're gonna have the reaction show, if possible. If not 1, maybe 1:30. From last night's Knicks win. C. Perry and myself, and then the nephew Josh jumps in with us later on, so we can get that uploaded. That's probably happening for you at 1. Check us out because that actually technically happened at about 12:30 a.m. This morning, and we went about an hour and some change on that. So that's kind of my wrap that up.
Oh, that will be available at 1. I'm setting that up as we speak. That will be available. In 17 minutes. It ain't gonna take me long to do it. We got it. My wrap it up is, again, congratulations to the Knicks, the fan base. I looked it up. Patrick Ewing gets a ring because he is on the payroll, so he gets a ring. I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see everybody that came out. So, man, that's my wrap it up. Anthony checking in. You're late, Anthony.
Good God.
He said, yo, let's hope the Knicks fans are not as crazy as what you saw with the Eagles fans when they basically burnt cars and destroyed the whole city.
I'm telling you right now, Anthony, the whole city of New York has been partying. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I got distracted. I just turned to soccer, and I forgot who Curacao. It's who Germany's playing, I think. Oh, Lord. The talent in Curacao. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not talking about on the pitch. I'm talking about in the stands. Lord Almighty. But I just go ahead and close this out, dog. Go ahead and close this out. I'm sorry.
Stay tuned. 1 p.m. You will get the replay of the react of the Knicks winning the championship from the crew at Nothing But Net, which can be seen on Wednesdays 7:15 right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. So for the Midnight Rider, I'm the big guy KG. We did the overtime, but it was well worth it, baby. Got to get paid that time and a half. We will be back tomorrow with Drive Time at 5 with Matty Ice, Showtime Sir, and Scooter. And then Coach Devon at 7 with the Midnight Rider with Pretenders or Contenders. So until then,
we might have a little different guest tomorrow on Pretenders or Contenders. I can't think if it's tomorrow or if it's later on. But
okay.
If you grab our coattails and follow along, you'll get why we have the guest that we got tomorrow. I'll say it that way.
All right. So for the Midnight Rider, I'm the big guy KG, and we are out of here.